birds singing to us. And that right? Oh, snap. Definitely need to stretch a little bit before this. I feel like there's so many things to need in one day, you know? The thought of eating 3 meals a day is difficult. Check me out! Oh my gosh, look at that. My tummy is almost flat. The tone will come when we start weight training, but so far the fat dropping is going like pretty good. I feel like we're losing the crap. It'll also be better for us to pay attention to our breath without the music. So maybe I'll use the music while I cook something. I was going through all my posts to, you know, refine them and see, like, get rid of things. And it was under my posts. And it was like, I don't know where I'm going or what direction, but we're still going and it's got to count for something. So that was something I guess I needed to hear because that was only like 3 months ago. And so to anybody out there that's feeling like they don't know what they're doing, where they're going, but they're going, that does count for something. So it is all right. Just keep moving. Just keep swimming. It's gonna be good. Oh no. Oh, I forget what those are called. I think they're called like moving stretches. I don't know what they're called. Anyways, good morning. I think haven't decided whether we're gonna do 50 or 100 stairs, but we chose stairs for our cardio today. Let me see. Try to put a Here we go. All right, let's get to it. Thanks for the likes, you guys. Appreciate it. This does not need to be here, so. I feel so excited. I feel like I am finally becoming a version of myself that the 14-year-old me would be really proud of. Feels good. Feels good. How is everybody's day going? Talk amongst yourself in the chat. Don't mind the weirdos. They exist too. They're allowed to exist. I exist. I'll come check the chat in between my 10s. We're on 3 right now. Forget to breathe these days. Look at the butterfly. Oh, you guys missed it. Forget to breathe so much. And it's literally one of those things where not only does it circulate oxygen all throughout your body, but when I was training people, I used to always tell them, I want to hear your breath. If I can't hear you breathing, then you're not breathing enough. And breathing, it comes from, here. So it also is kind of a workout for your abs. But I've gotten really bad at my breathing, and I can feel the lack of circulation in my ligaments, my legs and my arms and stuff. And I see older people coming in really swollen in their ankles, swollen in their wrists and their hands. Like when people hand me their cards, I'll see how swollen their hands and their feet are. And it's a lack of circulation, Cardio is what gets that blood flowing. Cardio and breathing good oxygen. It's difficult though, because you got to be mindful to go, hey, I haven't taken a deep breath all day. But you breathe, like give yourself 5 deep breaths, and you will feel a whole change in your state. my mind is like, okay, we need music. We need music. We should have music. But also, that was so much harder breathing. I swear the bird got louder as I said that. My apologies, Monsieur Birdie. Your song is so lovely. An idle mind is the devil's playground. An idle mind is the devil's playground. If you struggle with anything, you really just gotta keep busy. Your mind's still gonna try to push you to cheap dopamine sources. You just gotta not give into it and keep it busy. One more, and then I'm gonna check the chat, you guys. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's a beautiful one here. Woo! All right, that's 10. The first one I was like, this is too easy. The 10th one I'm like, okay, it's tiring. I feel it. Can we do something else though? Can we switch it up? Jump rope? I'm still debating whether I will keep this live up or not, and whether I'll keep other lives up. So if anybody does enjoy the lives, I have received a couple people saying like, oh, why do you keep privating the lives? I love watching the lives. I love coming back to the lives. If that's true, I do need to see more people showing up underneath the lives. if that's you and you would like me to keep more lives. Because if I don't know that you like them, I will just continue to private them. But if this is something that people like, maybe you want to do stairs with me or things like that, just speaking up is something that will help me gear the channel in the direction that it needs to go. So that's just what it is. It's hard to read over here, so I'm gonna move you a little closer to try to read the chat. What's up, Skillet? Skillet. I don't know if you're still in here. I'm gonna try to catch up real quick. Thanks for the likes, you guys. All right. Good morning. I just told my husband I gotta get back to my cardio. I've been focusing on strength training. That's awesome. I need to get on my strength training. I'm trying to blast the fasted and butt blast it for sure, for sure. Thank you so much. You guys are rhyming. I love it. Outlast it. What's up, Adam? Hi. Hello. Yes, nature is music. For real. For real. Yeah, I'm definitely reshaping my mindset and all that. It feels really good. Good way to put it. Cheap dopamine sucks. Cheap dopamine does suck. And, you know, it's like our flesh craves it. It really does. It craves it. Even like cheap dopamine that I've long given up, I still every now and then get cravings for. And I'm like, no way, Jose. Like those stupid vapes. I used to vape when they first came out. And like they have so many like flavors that sound so appealing and cute, and I'm like, but that is freaking not cute at all. I'm sorry. It was a horrible experience. I was always thirsty. It was like just another way of being a slave to it. You know, people that come in and buy it, I'm like, you know, okay, some of them I'll, you know, that I feel comfortable with, I will, you know, maybe tease a bit, especially men. I will tease. But if there's like a young person or like a, you know, somebody that's like 21 just on the verge of maybe I'll buy it, maybe I won't, I'm always like, yeah, no, you don't need that. It's gross. It's not the way. I did those at the park one day on the jungle gym and didn't understand the strenuous mess of these. Yeah, no, for real. Because you have to maintain or you will be old and stiff. Man, it's true. It's true. At any age, you can be that. And at any age, you can get it back. If you leave them all up, you get exponentially more watch hours. Yeah, maybe. I haven't decided. I haven't studied enough whether the lives count as watch hours or if the lives count as short hours. But also, we do talk about so many things, and I kind of get off the mindfulness. Like I'm not as mindful when I'm just like talking to everybody and stuff. We were talking about like so many different things. So I'm trying to be really mindful with the channel so that I can grow more intention in the channel itself to attract more of that. I realize I gotta get this little fat off. Yeah, for real, man. The fat, for multiple reasons, I need to get off. I need to be able to lift my body. I want to be able to do handstands and handstand push-ups and a lot of things in my, you know, calisthenics. And I just feel like it would be a lot easier if I could drop some fat and then make some of the fat muscle. All right, you guys, I think I'm caught up. Count as watch hours. I have leaving up all my lives. Okay, well, thank you, Gritty. Thank you for that. I appreciate that knowledge, and I will definitely consider that. Like I said, I'm trying to be more mindful, so I'll try to maybe just not. Sometimes the trolls get me, you know? Sometimes the trolls get me. And I will say, you want to talk about dopamine, when we're talking about on the topic of dopamine, it's really hard for me to keep count while I'm going up and down the stairs, and it really bothers me to lose count. But putting these little rocks, that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm counting with the rocks. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but it's like, it adds, it's like a dopamine hit, but it's not like instant. I have to get up here once to get my rock. I got to get up here twice to get my rock. When I finally get 10, I get to kick them off, you know? That's delayed gratification. So It feels way better. No. And the way I get kind of bored, if I change up what I'm doing each time, you know, like my mind wanting to do something different, going fast or going slow or going a different way, is how I combat that. You know, because you do need to speed up your heart rate to get into a like a fat burning. More so, you burn more fat the more elevated your heart rate is. I can't wait to become certified. I'm so excited. The more dopamine I've given into, the like lower my self-esteem has gone, and the more I've wanted to like give up on myself or whatever. So it feels so good to be doing good things that really build your self-esteem and make you feel good. You set a goal for yourself, even if it's small, even if it's just the next rock. It builds your self-esteem and it makes you feel better when you look in the mirror, not just physically but like mentally, because people can tell you look good all day and you can actually look good, but if you feel bad about yourself, it doesn't matter what you see in that mirror. And another note, this is going to be too much for the boys, so if you're a boy, if you're a man, I would recommend that you like mute it or turn it down or whatever. I don't pay attention to my cycle, so I didn't know where it was, but I get really emotional. I get mood swings around my cycle. That was 10. Wow, that was crazy. Like my past relationship, and like 2 days before my last my cycle last relationship, I would constantly it was like there was a reason to break up every single cycle. And I didn't know it until the next day, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. But I was fasting for the 3 days last week before, you know, my cycle start, and it was already hard fasting, but I didn't feel the mood swings. I didn't feel like normally I'm gorging like crazy, and I also go, okay, well, we're about to start our cycle, so we're gonna give ourselves the grace to do that. And usually it's exceptionally painful the first 2 days of my cycle. I'm on the second day right now, I believe, and I'm 3 days into intermittent fasting. I don't feel any pain. I'm not really experiencing much bloat. There's like a little bloat there, but not much, not to where I feel like heavy and stuff. I can't say that I've paid attention to my flow, but the way my body feels and the pain not being so pressing it's interesting. It's interesting. So that was all I wanted to say on that topic. So sorry, men, but I feel like for the girls, I had to say it. Fasting, win for the cycles. Really trying to catch up. I'm sorry, I'm like struggling to read this in the sun. Accurate, have fun, and also I'm working on your request. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. My request, I forgot about my request, but I totally remember it because it's top priority in my head. You see, great day right there. Enjoy. Oh, thank you, thank you. Isn't it beautiful? I didn't forget it. I'm heading out. Much love. Yes, have a great day. Shit, that rock trick is smart. It's like I keep it count to. Yeah, it's hard. Why you don't work out in flip-flops? I thought about it. Aw, thanks, Grady. If you were talking to me. Nice, you become a trainer. That's smart. They make bank, and you could work from online. Also, probably, I don't know too much about it. Oh yeah, no, I've been a trainer. I just wasn't certified. So yeah, it is definitely something a lot of people in my life have been like, when you do that, I'm on it. I just didn't give into it. You're right about that depression. Oh, it's all different. Yeah, no, for sure, it really is. Why are you healing all my issues today? You know, I'm really just they say there's this quote and it said when you heal yourself, like when any woman heals herself, she heals every other woman around her. And I think that goes beyond women. I think when one person heals themselves, they heal everyone around them, because you know, then the people that you're interacting with, you know that the interactions that you're dealing with aren't personal. It's just a reflection of their life and their circle and their circumstances and things like that. So I'm just so grateful to be continuing to grow and to be healing myself. And I definitely have the intention of sharing that and expressing that more, regardless of whether it's trendy or popular or growing. And I read a quote that's also in my mindful journal that I'm working on, you guys. I'll catch up in a second. I just want to say this real quick, and then I'll read it again. My mindfulness journal, it said, a leader will sacrifice the numbers for the people. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, I said bump the numbers. Like I said, I might fall off your guys's algorithm a little bit, but I will be back, and I am working on it, and I'm confident that this is the way. She's psychic. No, it's probably the best way to do it. Even it don't even pay much attention to yours. I feel like my ex would drag it into a bigger thing than it was. Well, I could be wrong. It was painful for her. I know it was painful for her. Yeah, no, it was super painful. But like I said, I haven't experienced any pain. There's been zero pain. So I'm just spinning now. Stop. No, you don't ever have to be sorry, Gritty. It's always really good to see you. Jody, what's up? It is so beautiful on this land. What's up, Donovan? Yeah, for sure. Helping people through helping self is a beautiful thing, and I love it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is the way. You know, I love me for you. You know what I mean? Like, I love me for me, but I love me for everyone around me. And I feel like that's the best way for everybody to go. You can't love anyone unless you love yourself. And that's something that people always say, like, to girls, really. They'd be like, you know, and they say that on RuPaul. They say, you can't love anybody unless you love yourself. And like I said in one of my posts, it's funny because it's a trending audio. It's not a trending audio, but for me, that audio has always gotten like over 1,000 views or 5,000 views, and talking about men's mental health on it, and how we can talk all day about how men are the amount of men growing to hate women is growing, and men contribute to 80% of the crimes. We don't talk about the you can't love anyone until you love yourself part, so I think if more men were redirected to care more about themselves and put themselves in the center of their lives, then the crime rate would go down. We'd all come together a whole lot more. All right. But yeah, anything having to do with men's mental health, I already know is going to be a giant hill to get over, and just as much as mindfulness and motivation and stuff. And I'm okay with climbing that hill, and that is what we are practicing for. Not only do I have a lot of men in my life that are struggling to get on the winning side of that battle, I have a son, and I know he's gonna have that same battle, you know, of keeping himself at the center, especially the more that these girls play with his heart. And I gotta be better to get ahead of it. I've made it a habit to, it's really hard, but to tell myself to shut up and listen, just like in my daily interactions, when I'm like, how's your day going? To everyone, but especially more so men, because I understand they don't really get listened to like that. And it's awesome to get to hear like the excitement or the little joys or the little frustrations. Like my neighbor was trying to paint his boat, you know, and he bought some nail polish remover. And I could have just left it at that, but I was like, well, what do you need that for, you know? And then he goes on to like 5 minutes of talking about he was painting his boat and he messed up, and it's a brand new boat and he didn't want to mess up how it looked and the aesthetic. And it was a good interaction, you know? And he saw me a couple days later. Turns out he's my neighbor. I didn't even know. But he stopped me, he turned back around and remembered me. And he reminded me of the conversation, which is why I remembered him. Because I see so many people a day. But it's like in everything. Everybody has to be mindful. Everybody has to, you know, check in with each other. Just reach out to somebody. And this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I hope each of you, if you have someone, or even if it's just a stranger, even more so if it's just a stranger, just take that time to like ask, seek a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna try to catch up on the chat real quick. I think we're at 30. We're only gonna do 50 today. I'm gonna prep some food to eat. Whew. Is your house wet? Yeah, why don't you show me a video maybe this morning? Oh, wet? You're right, for sure. A lot of things are neglected in society that we could change. Yeah, for real. You know, I think that there's plenty, and I think it's not. I wouldn't categorize myself as a like good. You know, it's funny. In the Bible, a lot of times when people were to talk to Jesus, they would be like, oh, they would talk to him. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, I can't even tell you exactly what a Pharisee is, but I think it might have been one. But it was one that he's like a high up religious leader, and I believe his daughter was like sick or dying or dead, one of the two, and he came to Jesus, and he was like, you know, and he was talking to him, and he's like, you are good and all this stuff. And Jesus looked to him and he said, what makes you call me good? You know, because really the only time you bring up good is in comparison to bad. And I wouldn't consider myself good because there's been a million times. There's been probably over a million times when I have missed giving a crap about what a man has to say, or anybody around me. You know, that I've been so self-absorbed and so look what I can do that I missed opportunities to appreciate my fellow human beings, and mankind, you know, itself. You know, I've been very bitter and angry, and I've had my times, but I just aspire to be decent and to be more decent, and it takes being mindful. So I wouldn't say that the women, if there are women in your lives that you feel like they just don't appreciate me, they just don't understand, or they're bad women, you know, I would challenge you to look inward, and also, uh, just like I was saying, it's not personal, uh, that they lack mindfulness and awareness. Those are their own mountains that they have to climb, um, and just like I have to climb my own mountains, and just like you have your own mountains to climb, and it's really just a group effort to grow. And the more that we are mindful and conscious of the way that we speak, and how we interact with people, the better all of the interactions and the world that we are in will become. I've been in the same place, I've been in the same places, and I know a limiting belief is like, if I could just get out of this place, if I was just somewhere else, if I was just around different people, things would be better. Things would get better. I would be better. If I just had a partner that was already, you know, had their routine down, I'd be able to have a routine down. If I just, you know, and it takes the control out of you. It takes the responsibility and the accountability and the challenge of getting over that hill away from you. I gotta go check on my little baby. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna do the last 20 on my own. I think that I really love coming in and talking to you guys. I'll try to catch up in the chat right before I go. But I've been trying to do a lot more off camera too, just to kind of build that relationship with myself. So I am gonna do that and see if my minis want to come out and join me. Let me try to catch up real quick. I really appreciate you guys, and you know, sharing your thoughts and your everything, you know, because that's what it's the back and forth, and I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy to see so many of you guys today. Especially we've seen what's been in the chat lately, so I really value you guys being here. I wish there was, I wish out there in the mountains. I live in Colorado. I'm going to have to take my dog up there now and spend the day there. You should, Jody, you should. I also hear that Colorado is one of the most beautiful states from everybody that I hear. Yes, none of us are perfect. The chat is just not the same without the boldness of It's Ray and Lovey. I miss them so much. Thank you for voicing that, VIP. I agree. We need them back in here. Well, I'm glad I seen you this morning. Have a good one. I'm glad I seen you too, Gritty. Thank you so much. Hi, Jazio. Or, I'm sorry, Hazio. I think I said that right this time. I know you said it was with the H sound. So, love you guys. Bye.